Folks, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to convert any village into a fully working iron farm. Like, seriously, after you watch this video and you don't have an iron farm yet, and you see a village, there's no reason not to turn it into a fully working iron farm. And moving the villagers into the actual farm is a breeze, which is usually the hardest part. We're going to take advantage of a new mechanism that I discovered. Probably somebody else might have discovered it before, but for me, this is new, and it's a revelation to me. If you take all their beds and you ring the bell, they have nowhere else to go. If you put a bed inside your iron farm, all the villagers will flock to that bed. So that's the beauty of this farm. Find a village, turn it into an iron farm. And to top it off, we are working with super cheap materials. You'll need about 6 stacks of any kind of block. Stone is fine. You'll need a stack of slabs as well, a bucket of water, a bucket of lava. You'll need 3 redstone dust, easily found in mines. You'll need 4 profession tables, and then you'll need 69 blocks of glass, 2 hoppers, 1 piston, 1 pressure plate, 2 chests, and 2 name tags. Now, name tags are completely optional. You will need them to ensure that zombies do not despawn, but there's ways around it. If you can find a zombie that will actually pick up a sword or an item that you give, then it will actually not despawn at all. But otherwise, well, a name tag is just probably the better way. You'll also need 2 stacks of dirt. This is only temporary, and you'll need some lighting, of course. So yeah, it's super cheap. And without further ado, let's start with the build. Things aren't apparently starting too well for this example, as the village is literally on fire, but coincidentally part of this method involves relocating the villagers, so this is not an issue. This guy doesn't have a roof on his head anymore. You're gonna need a lot of dirt, so you're also gonna need a lot of stone, so the next thing you'll want to do is find yourself a village. Any village will do as long as they have at least 4 villagers. The more the merrier, of course. And the next part is deciding where you want to place your Iron Golem farm. Now, honestly, you can do this anywhere as long as you keep some clearance from other objects. Now, before we continue any further, it's important to understand the mechanics behind Iron Golem spawning. They will spawn relative to where your villager is standing. So, for example, this diamond block here will be the reference point of where the villager is standing, and an Iron Golem can spawn on 8 blocks on either side of where you're standing. Well, to be precise, it's actually 7 blocks on one side and 8 on the other, but that's too complicated. Let's just say 8 blocks on each side. And it can also spawn up to 7 blocks under where you are standing. Now, this is important to understand because if your iron golems spawn anywhere other than your intended location, it will slow down your production rates. Now, as an example, we do have an issue here because if I just connect these blocks here, which is the spawning locations up to here as well, you'll notice that if I pull this down, iron golems can actually spawn on the ground over on this side over here, as this block here indicates that these grass blocks here can be a spawning location for the iron golem. Therefore, since this is the shape of the terrain, you have 2 options. You can either clear the ground around it, or you can build your iron golem farm a little bit higher. And I always think it's easier and safer to just add a few blocks higher. So, to be safe, make sure you are 9 blocks clear of the ground or any structure surrounding it. As you can see, if I build it on this height here where the current diamond block is, you should be clear of any land areas where the iron golem may spawn. So the TLDR version of that was basically a build your iron golem farm high up. Okay, let's start building the farm area first. So let's just select that very same location. I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks high, 11, 12. You can do it overkill, it doesn't matter. I mean, the safer, the better, of course. I mean, there's always going to be terrain or treetops or rooftops surrounding you. So to be safe, let's just add another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks, and you should be 100% safe. So now that we have this basic location of where we're going to build, let's start by making the basic shape of the farm. So do 6 blocks long like so, and make it 5 blocks wide like so, and let's just fill everything up. The next thing that you'll want to do is make a stairway leading up into this platform. Something like this should be fine, so basically a villager will be able to walk up to there. Now, I do suggest adding stairways on several sides just to make the path finding easier for villagers to discover this area. Now it's time to do some trickery. So next thing you'll want to do is head inside all of the villagers' houses and steal all their beds. So that was bed number 1, here's bed number 2, bed number 3. Whoops, I did miss one more bed, so that's the 10th and final bed on this village. Right now that we have this basic shape set up, The next thing we'll want to do is place profession tables. Now this can pretty much be anything as long as it's a full block, so don't use composters for example. So for this example here, I'm gonna place a smithing table, cartography table, a fletching table, and a loom. To be honest, this can all be the same kind. It doesn't really matter as long as it's a full block and it's a profession table. Alright, now for the next step, we're gonna pull out some slabs and we're gonna place it on these 3 blocks here. 1, 2, and 3. And next to the 3 slabs that we've just placed, what you'll want to do is place full blocks next to it. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And this is how it should look like. Add one more full block on the corner over here, and then grab your slab and then add it down over here. Now let's quickly place full blocks on this side, just covering the entire area, and we should have a shape that looks like this. Okay, this may look odd right now, but it'll make sense. Before we continue on, may I suggest that you break these blocks down here and the stairway on the other side as well. Why? Because we already have our profession tables up top and we don't want any stray villagers going up here and claiming these profession tables just yet. I mean, we want them later, but not now. Right, so next, this spot over here is actually where our zombie will be placed later on. All you gotta do is place a pressure plate over here, add one more block on this side, grab your redstone and place 1, 2, and 3. Next thing you'll want to do is grab your piston and you'll want to place it like so, facing towards that side. And what will happen here is if I were a zombie and I try and get up there, I'll be pushed back into my place. So this will work perfectly. I'll show you later. Alright, let's just make things a little bit more beautiful for now. And what we're gonna do here is add glass blocks on the side. We're gonna make them 3 blocks high like so. Okay, that's one side of the wall done. And you'll want to do it on this side as well. However, do leave this bit open because we do need the villagers to get up there. And then we'll add more on this side. And again, leave this block open so the villagers can walk up. And yeah, that should be alright. Yeah, we should just add 1, 2, 3, and okay. Now the reason we didn't block out the back side here is we actually want to lure a zombie here later on, and the easiest way to do that is by simply connecting this dirt block all the way to the back, and this should allow your zombie to get into position. Alright, there we go. We have a little alleyway for our zombie to get trapped into his location over here later on. Alright, next. So this area to the left is for the villagers. This area to the right is for the zombie. Now, we don't want them to interact with each other. So what we're going to do here is place some blocks to clearly separate the area. So what I'll do here is place 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks like so. And you'll want to add one more slab down here. And therefore, the villagers can't go to that side. Right? I can't actually walk through this, and if I go to the other side of the build, the zombie will not be able to enter that area as well, because if he tries to walk up here, he gets pushed back. So that is working perfectly. This still looks a bit like a mess, but it'll all look good. Just wait. Okay, moment of truth. Let's connect these dirt blocks again. So now there's pathing up into our farm area. Do the same thing on this side since we broke this earlier. And now we have clear pathing up into this area over here. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to take advantage of all of the villager beds that we stole. What you want to do is go back down to this area and place one bed here, 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 and here. So 4 beds up top. That is absolutely swell. Right, so here's another thing that I would do that would actually increase your production rates. Well, this is optional, but if you want, place a slab here, 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 and here. What this would do is prevent any villagers from standing around on these sides where the slabs are, meaning they will get scared by the zombie a lot more often. And all we gotta do now is use this newly discovered method. I was I was totally surprised by this method. Like, I did not think it would work. The original plan was to actually go to midnight and actually make the villagers try and find a bed, but then, you know, lots of zombies, creepers, and all those baddies, it can be quite, well, catastrophic. So what I managed to figure out is if I actually ring on this bell during daytime, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, check that out, guys. Check that out. They're all headed to that bed. In fact, there's not enough room for them, but check this out. Yeah, they're all headed towards that bed and grabbing the professions as well. Yeah, we have more than we need. Let's just seal that guy off. And alright, they're all trapped in there. That's absolutely perfect. And except for the fact that this villager grabbed a profession, which I do not want. So it's gonna have to go. Right, okay. So 4 villagers entrapped and all of them with professions. This is exactly what we need. Okay, just a little bit of troubleshooting time, just in case you couldn't get your villagers to go into this location, right? If they didn't want to go here, it basically means that your villagers were way too far from those beds, so that the villager bell did not drive them to the beds. Now, there is a very simple solution to this, and I'll show you. This will be very useful for all of your builds. So let's say we have villagers over on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? And I want to move these guys to this location. I'm going to place a bell over here, place some beds. I'm going to place more than I need because there are additional villagers on that side. As soon as I ring this bell, these guys will come. These guys will come as well. Suddenly you have a flock of villagers going towards this area. Now, when you need them to move to the next location, all you gotta do is just break the beds, break the bell, and then you go closer to your next destination, which is over here. Place beds randomly. Very useful tips, guys. Ring the bell, watch them flock in all the way here. And then the next thing you want to do is just break these beds again, because this bell is already close enough to our destination, and you just ring the bell one more time and they should head up there. Now it's not possible because there's no more line of sight because I already blocked the entire thing, but I guess that was good to know. It's an awesome way to move villagers. Anyway, let's continue on with our build right here. Now it's time to place the zombie villager up on this side. But first things first, precaution, folks. You can get hostiles spawning up here. You do not want that, so light it up, light it up. During daytime, zombies will get burnt if you don't put a roof on top of their heads, so place blocks on top of this zombie area. This 3x3 block is your zombie area, so what I'll do here is place blocks here, and here, and here. Now the zombie should be safe from burning. Right, just a few final touches. Let's close this area with glass blocks because there's just literally one spot where you want the zombie to get inside, which is this area here, right? Okay, if that's all done, let's wait till midnight and get the party started. Okay, the sun is setting and I'm gonna go to survival mode so that we can get this going. Now, ideally, you'll want a zombie that actually has a sword or a helmet because, well, they don't really despawn unless their sword is broken. Now, their sword will not break because they're not actually going to hit anything. So, if you find a zombie with a sword, you're perfect. If not, you're going to need a name tag. And I'll show you the steps as well. So, I found my first zombie. He's chasing me now. He's chasing me now. The only thing that might be an issue is that we have an Iron Golem in town. And, yeah, that Iron Golem might just whack the crap out of this zombie. So, he's following me now. He's following me now. Right? He's right behind me. We can just casually, you know, jump up. He's not that fast. So, yeah, we just do this casually. So, he's almost here. He's almost here. Right? So, let me get to first person view. And, okay. He's headed here. And, alright. Alright. Okay. Great. We trapped him. It is literally that easy. We trapped him inside. That is absolutely... Now, I'm gonna grab some glass blocks here just to finish the look of the build. Glass block there, here, and there, and down here as well. And we're done. That is the basic build. Oh crap. Yeah, that dirt block there is messing up the build, so we actually gotta grab that. Okay, finally. Now this is a good time to give your zombie a name tag. I'm gonna call mine's sub would equal much love, so that's what we'll do. And at this point, your zombie should not despawn, and you could put a glass block here. Everything is working fine now. Oh look, it already spawned one. That's insane. Okay, let's go back to daytime because it's better to work in daytime. Right, so this bit is almost done. It's already producing iron golems. Now, the next thing you want to do is save your village. So what you want to do is just place all the beds back so that they actually have a place to sleep. Okay, back to the build. We're going to want to seal off the top bits with blocks. Solid blocks, of course. All the way around and up to the corners. More on this side over here. And finally on this side. Now let's just have a quick look. That is what your Iron Golem farm looks like. It is very simplistic. It's not complicated. It's future-proof because of the shape of the beds and not hard to build. Now let me just clear out the dirt just to make things a little bit more aesthetic. Right, so important lesson here. Villagers will only produce one iron golem. If there is an iron golem within the radius that I showed you earlier in the video, they simply will not produce more. So the goal here is to make a system where this guy here is transported outside of the spawnable locations, which is around where I'm pointing at right now, so that a new iron golem can be produced immediately. So the way we're going to do this is by having water up top here, have the iron golem thrown down. That way, as soon as that iron golem gets flung down here, a new one can be produced without having to wait for the previous one to die. If you're looking for a more compact method, you can simply place water here, direct it over here, have lava here to kill that iron golem, but this is a little bit less efficient. Why? Because you gotta wait till that iron golem dies here before a new one actually gets produced. So I hope that makes sense, and that is why we're gonna make our, iron golem smelting center all the way down here. What we want to do here is add blocks on all... Wait, another iron golem spawned already. Add blocks on each side, all the way to the corners, all the way here as well, and all the way to the back side over here. And then make it one block higher as well. Like so. And finally on the front side, just do the exact same thing and just add one more layer. Let me just show you how it looks now. So basically everything is protruding one block from the actual build. This is where your iron golems will be produced and sent out into the lava chamber. Now you also want to add slabs on top over here because slabs will prevent other kinds of mobs from spawning, and iron golems also cannot spawn on those blocks. Right, so that should do it. That's the shape that you want. All you gotta do now is place water on all these corner blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So before we continue on, I want to show you how well this thing works. I mean, I'm going to show you how to make this, and I'm going to show you how to make that as well, and that is just swimmingly perfect. I mean, look at all those iron golems down there. They are fighting for room. They are literally fighting for room down there. Here comes another one, and I mean, look at this corner. Yeah, that is a lot of iron golems, folks. This farm works brilliantly, and I'll show you some very important steps and secrets on why this actually works super well, even for a one setup like this. I mean, you can make multiple iron golem farms like this, increase your production even more, but even this should be enough. So this part here is basically a zombie lure. What it does is it makes your iron golem aggroed, and it'll actually walk towards the zombie and eventually fall down into this death trap down here. Now again, completely optional. You don't have to do it. Now, this is what happens when you don't have a zombie lure. Sometimes he will stop for a very long time in a corner, not move, and the water won't push him. But if you have this zombie lure, production will increase. But even without it, production is already very, very good. Now, setting this up is not hard at all. You just need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks distance from the Iron Golem farm. Don't make it too close to the Iron Golem farm, because if you do, the Iron Golem will actually be able to do a few swings at the zombie and he will eventually die. Now, getting your zombie up there is exactly the same method as we used before. All you gotta do is just place a block underneath, some glass blocks or any blocks on the sides. Don't cover it up with glass on this side, otherwise the iron golems won't get aggroed. And again, don't forget to put a block up top, otherwise the zombie will burn like so. And I'm just gonna save his life now, and he should be okay. I think he'll be fine, but just in case, let's give it some water. Okay. He's okay now. Great. That's all you need to do. Pretty simple. Basically, you can actually set up your iron golem frying machine up here, as in where the lava is, to kill the iron golems to grab the iron. But the issue is that it's just a little bit slower, because you gotta kill one iron golem before these villagers can actually attempt to spawn a second one. Now, what we achieve by having this down here is that as soon as this guy falls down, you'll have a chance to immediately spawn another one. Now, of course, it's not instant because this is a game of chance. It involves a few things. One, the larger the space, the more chances of the villagers spawning an iron golem. And, well, number two, if there's one already around that spawning vicinity, it will just not spawn another. So this does increase productivity. Now, here's how you set it up. You actually need this to be quite far away from your spawning station. Now, I did lots of tests. Believe me, this was not the first attempt. You actually need a decent amount of clearance for this to work. At first, I actually had my iron golem spawning station much closer to this, and apparently it was not far enough. It actually needs to be exactly this far for us to be able to take advantage of this mechanic. Now, I'm going to show you how far this area needs to be in order for us to be able to do this mechanic. Are they actually fighting for space? What's going on there? Yeah, they're... Wow, okay. They're actually dying down there. I think that's entity cramming, or are they just hitting each other? I have no idea. And another one bites the dust. Anyway, so the exact distance from the bottom of your main build to the top of your bottom layer over here is exactly 18 blocks. So I'll just count that with you. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and that's 18 blocks. And on the 19th block, that's where you build your platform. Now, this platform is 10 blocks wide from here to here, and it is 6 blocks wide from here. So that's a 10 by 6 box. The reason why we gotta make this a little bit wider than the top area is so that the golems don't get stuck on the edge. Now, before we continue on, you'll want to place chests on one of the corners. Either one really doesn't matter. And then just place hoppers leading into the chest like so. Don't forget to shift click so that the hoppers are facing into the chest. And next, all you gotta do is fill up the walls 2 blocks high on all sides. Okay, that's what it looks like. And next, add slabs on all of the top sides. So this shape is fine, actually, as long as it's actually not on ground level. But the issue is, if you have it this close to ground level at night time, you will have mobs. And mobs will actually get attracted to this hole. And you will get unwanted loot inside your chest. So if you are building this on ground level, do consider just making it a few blocks higher. So again, this is not necessary if you have this floating up in the air, but well, if you do have it on ground level, just add 1 or 2 blocks higher, and that way you will not have any unwanted spawns inside your burning area. Okay, so mine's is an extra deep pool now just because I have to, because again, it's on ground level. We don't want hostile mobs. Next thing you want to do is set up your burner. All you got to do is go to the corner where this hopper is and add 3 signposts. 1 over here, 1 down here, and another one on this side. Grab a bucket of lava and place it on this corner, so any mobs pushed into this corner will burn and the items will get into the chest. Now turn around and you'll want to place water over on that block over there, not the one on the bottom but the one on the top. That way you'll get mobs pushed all the way to the corner, and that should be enough for your iron golem. Don't believe me? Let's test it out straight away, as I've locked up my iron golems up top. And just to prove a point, while I was doing all that work just now, only 1 iron golem spawned, because again, a villager will not spawn additional iron golems unless they are already outside of the spawning range. So let's let that one fall down, and he should be pushed into that corner, gets burned, and the items will soon be placed inside our holding area over here. So just a few more burns and we should be good. There we go, he's down. Let's check the chest, and there you go, your first 4 iron ingots. That is absolutely perfect. Now, I guess all we gotta do is do a little time lapse and see how efficient this farm actually is. Anyway, if you're interested in a more elaborate iron farm design, I do have one in my primary world. This one, it works exactly the same. Absolutely the same. The only difference is that it looks like this, I guess, modern chic villa sort of thing. Like, that's how it looks. Same design up top. You've got the same beds and, well, everything is the same. The only difference is that, well, it has a modern look to it. And if you want to make this many iron farms, what you might need is a villager breeder. In fact, if you ever need a super awesome villager breeder, do check out my tutorial. It's the newest one on the channel. I have like 5 versions, but this one has got to be the best. Fully automated, infinite, and you can even send your villagers down into a trading hall down here where you can turn them into zombie, back to a villager, back to a zombie, back to a villager for maximum trades. Anyway, that's that. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was useful. The name is MazBro, signing out, and hope to see you guys next time. Do say hi in the comment section below.